They came for the jobs, and state health officials believe they may have brought COVID with them. Tonight, the latest hotspot is in Glencoe, an hour west of the Twin Cities, and connected to the Seneca packing facility there.
And as Tom Lydon tells us, a delay in getting test results may have made the outbreak far worse.
August in Minnesota means sweet corn, and at the Seneca packing plant in Glencoe, the harvest brings in more than 200 workers. This year, it also brought COVID.
We understand there's been a bit of a COVID outbreak. What can you tell us?
Yeah, COVID is everywhere.
Fernando Perez came up from Brownsville, Texas. He tested positive for COVID when he got here, but he says other workers are hiding their symptoms.
Some people don't even say they got symptoms. They keep it for themselves, like they're not conscious, they don't think about some other people.
Many of the seasonal Seneca workers live in dormitories next to the plant. Seneca tested them when they arrived here, but it took more than 10 days to get those results. The Minnesota Health Department believes many of the workers brought COVID with them from hotspots like Brownsville, which is red level 4 in the COVID threat matrix, which means the disease is out of control.
The test results that they were waiting for were very, very slow to come back. And in the meantime, several of these workers became symptomatic and probably exposed other workers.
The Minnesota Health Department says there are now 33 confirmed cases among Seneca workers, another 12 cases suspected. But MDH admits there's a lag in those numbers. The Fox 9 investigators have learned there were 40 positive tests in McLeod County in July, but just 11 days into August, 69 positive cases.
How sick are you?
Well, right now I got the flu.
This couple says many of those who are sick aren't getting adequate care.
In that room, you got about 5, 6 people sick. But I don't know why they're sending to the hospital. Why they keep him here?
A health worker here in McLeod County tells me one of their biggest concerns is not all the workers who have been tested have gotten the results of those tests back. And those who have tested positive and are supposed to be in quarantine, well, they're sometimes leaving this area. They're going into town. Some of them are even staying at local hotels. And this healthcare worker tells me that is just a recipe for super spread.
Despite the outbreak, Glencoe State Senator Scott Newman was one of those who voted today to end the governor's peacetime emergency for COVID. Fox 9 has learned OSHA has now launched a safety and compliance investigation at the Seneca plant. But because these are considered essential workers, even if they've been exposed, they're still allowed to work as long as they aren't symptomatic.
So you feel fairly comfortable working here?
It got ahead of us because we weren't able to respond very quickly because we didn't have test results.
The health department says it's launching another round of testing, but some workers aren't sticking around.
We're heading back south.
You're heading back south.
Yeah.
Are you getting the medical care you need?
No, they ain't giving you nothing.
They're heading back to Brownsville, Texas, sick, tired, and still looking for work. Tom Lydon, Fox 9.
We reached out to Seneca but never heard back from the company. The Glencoe outbreak comes a week after a cluster of COVID cases were reported from the Seneca plant in Cumberland, Wisconsin.